गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We are in Amrutanubhava chapter, the chapter 9, Jivan Mukta Dasha Kathana. How does one who is free, liberated while living, how does he function and move around? What is his in this world? What is his experience, if there is one? What is his disposition? That is being talked about in the 13th verse. An example was taken: when the wave is lifted, water alone comes in the hand. This we are and here it was told that whether we are, when we lift the wave from the waters, you don't get a wave in the hand, you get water in the hand, but you are calling it a wave, and that is because of our obsession with the name and form. It's nothing but water. In the same way, when the Jivan Mukta Purusha, the realized master, gets his experiences in the world, he experiences nothing but himself everywhere. Just like you are looking at the various waves, but when you get it, you get the infinite waters in your hand. Similarly, when the realized master gets any experience in the world, the experience is not of something, it is of that permanent principle which is the self. The experience is of the self alone. Just like the example of the wave is taken, whether you pick up a wave but you get the water. He picks up an example, he gets an experience, but the experience is of the self. And in this way, the disposition of the master is not opposed to anything. He is ever established in that one reality, and the duality does not touch him. And in this way, the Jivan Mukta Purusha has become one with his own essential nature. For him, differences on whatever account carry no meaning. What is the reason why differences carry no meaning for him? Because because he has gone beyond the mind. He has gone beyond the mind. In fact, he is established in that in which everything, known or unknown, is included. Known and unknown is a concept of the mind. It has got nothing to do with the self. The realized master, being the self, he supports all the mind, but is not influenced by the mind whatsoever. In the 14th verse, the essential nature, that is pure consciousness, is never influenced by any of its manifestations. Hata pasi sparshu, dolaya pasi rupasu, Juhe pasi mithashu, konhi eku. Whether touched by hand, seen by the eyes, or tasted by the tongue by anyone, tarhi parimala paraute, miravane nahi kapurate, tevi bahuta parisfurate, Te Sphure. The camphor is nothing but fragrance. Certainly, the same consciousness is experienced through any subject and a subject object relationship. Our experience is that I am the subject, object is separate to me, isn't it? This is our experience when we move around in the world. But look at yourself, both subject and object, the I thought and that thought, where are they appearing? Where is the thought of I and the thought of this camera? Where are they appearing? In the mind. Both are my mind only. This is just a very just simplified way I am telling you. Whenever one feels the softness of the camphor by the hands, one sees it while color and form of by the eyes, one tastes the sweetness by the tongue. The camphor is essentially the fragrance. This fragrance, which is the essential nature of the camphor, is alone supporting the non-essential attributes of camphor. Even if we recognize the camphor by the non-essential characteristics, for example, the touch, the color, and the taste, all the three are manifestations of the essential nature of the camphor, its fragrance. Exactly the same way, I, the pure consciousness, is the essence, and this I, the essential nature of ours, itself is appearing as the knower known knowing, seer seen seeing, hearer heard hearing, taster tasted tasting, the Triputis. It alone is appearing, the hand alone is appearing as the five fingers, four fingers and the thumb. Body is one but appearing as many limbs, isn't it? Mind is one but appearing as many thoughts. Think about it. These are worthy contemplations rather than same. How does this dish get prepared? How do you make your scones? How do you put, which masala do you put in this curry? Who has said what? Oh, gossip. Gossip like this. Wonderful. The Triputi of the knowledge, Triputi, the trio of the knowledge has emerged out of this pure consciousness through the knowingness. All the components of manifestation in the individual experience of experiencer, experienced, and experience. The first subtotal of waker waking world, waking experience, the second subtotal of dreamer and the dream plane of consciousness, and the third subtotal of the deep sleep state where absence is the criterion. All these are born out of this I. With reference to this pure consciousness, the essential fragrance, all the other aspects of the manifestation are meaningless. Same way it is told. Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam. Sugandhim is the fragrance. And that fragrance is Lord Shiva. That is his nature. And that fragrance cannot come because of acceptance or duality. That comes from purity. And purity is being established in the self. And having this vision, having this disposition, having this poise wherein this one without a second principle itself is appearing as the manyness in the world. It is my own manifestation. It is my own vibhuti. Vibhuti means glory. The water doesn't say, but we are using the language. The water doesn't say, but all the waves are the glory of the water, isn't it? At the individual level, and at the total level, all the oceans are also the glory of the manifestation of the water alone. See? Similarly, the realized master, for him, the entire cosmos, the entire creation. And where is the creation for us? The waking and dream, and the absence of creation in the deep sleep. All these three are born because of Triputis, because of the trios. Waker, waking world and waking experience, dreamer, dream world and dream experience, and the deep sleep state is the absence of the previous two. And all this is the glory of the self, the manifestation. The self alone is manifesting as that, as if. And we are caught up with this manifestation rather than being the one who is expressing as many. This is where we are going wrong because of our obsession with name and form. There is no question of but here. Why? We are talking about the disposition and experience of a realized master, isn't it? So, if that is his experience, then we must make an attempt to live like that. Don't pass comments, don't argue, don't discuss, don't question, don't answer. Just be. Look at everything. Be joyful. Rather than live your life seeking happiness, let happiness be expressed through you in everything that you do or don't do. If you're seeing, express happiness. Look at everyone with joy, with love. If you're talking to someone, do in the same manner. If you're touching someone, do it in the same manner. Not habit. If you're putting your keeping the slippers outside the house also is an action, isn't it? Express it as a joy. Automatically perfection will come. You'll be very careful how you put the slippers or shoes neatly, because you are perfect by nature, and you will start that perfection will start expressing in automatically, because there is only that. You see? Then unnecessary chatter goes away, and this realized master, he is ever established in that unity of vision, in that unity of experience, in spite of the manyness. And this is happening to you also. In spite of you being the mother, daughter, sister, etc., etc., you still know that you are the woman, isn't it? It's the unity of experience. These are not some different characters from somewhere. It's only different thoughts are there, but you are one, isn't it? Just like this example I took in meditation 2-3 weeks ago. Forms are many, eyes are one. Sounds are many, ears are one. Smells are many, nose is one. Isn't it? Senses are many, mind is one. Senses are many, mind is one. Mind alone is expressing as the many senses. The eyes alone are expressing as the various forms. See? That principle of light itself becomes, just like the self becomes the I thought and the that thought, the principle of light becomes the seer and the seen. The principle of sound becomes the hearer and the heard. Not the hearer, but the ears and the stimuli that the ear can hear. The principle of earth becomes the nose and the stimuli that are smelt for the nose. Similarly, the mind itself has become the 5 senses. Exactly the same way, all the thoughts in the mind are nothing but the self alone. This is the experience of the master, and therefore nothing to run towards and nothing to run away from. Everything, everyone I am. In the same tattva, the same consciousness manifests as many, but in this process, because of the manyness of the attributes, the consciousness has not become many. See? even though this phenomena is going on, because of the sun the day and night comes, but because the day and night are there, the sun has not become a day and night. Sun remains the one indivisible principle, isn't it? Exactly the same way. Because of the manyness of thoughts, the consciousness has not become many. Consciousness remains that one in spite of the expression of various thoughts. Why consciousness? Even mind. Mind is also one, appearing as many. Just as water is one, appearing as many ways. Gold is one, appearing as many ornaments. Body is one, appearing as many limbs. Same way, this consciousness is one and one alone, without having been corrupted because of the manyness. The flower may be recognized in 5 different ways of Shabd, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha: seeing, hearing, touching, feel, taste. But all the 5 represent only one object, the flower. Where is the flower recognized? In the mind. And the mind is nothing but the consciousness, divided into subject object duality. Whether it is a good or bad dream, both are the glory of the same mind. So also is the waking plane of consciousness. I just told you about the waking dream and deep sleep. It is the self alone. I've given you here only example of flower is taken. I told you the body. I told you from the each senses point of view. All senses because of the mind are in the mind, and all and what is mind? Nothing but subject object play. Leela. This is called Leela. Leela means play, the divine play. And who is the divine? The self. The self is the divine. It is his, the phenomena. The play of day and night is the glory of the sun. Same way, the divine play of the I thought and the that thought and its interaction, and the whole thing is the glory of the self that I am. And in this way, the Jivan Mukta Purusha, who is in tune with his own essential nature, lives his life effortlessly. In fact, it will be more correct to say that he is not living, but life is lived through him, because the individuality is totally gone. Why is it said that if individuality is there, you live, and when individuality is gone, life is lived through you? Why this statement? Because individuality expresses in 2 ways. One is the doer, the other is, you should know, one is the doer, the other is enjoyer. This obsession within us that only by doing I will come to enjoy. You see? This obsession is only because you think you are limited. It only comes because you think you are the body, and as long as you are the body, you will feel like doing something. This ego expresses, or the individuality expresses as the doer, karta and bhokta. Whereas the Jivan Mukta Purusha, the realized master, this individuality has vanished. It has merged. It has dissolved. Why? Where is the individuality? In the mind. And where is the mind of the master now? Dissolved. See? Does that mean he does not get thoughts? He gets thoughts. Maybe. We don't know. Get there and find out. Nothing can be said about a realized master. This is the best way master has expressed himself. Every sentence is a cancelling every other sentence. Nothing can be concrete, because concreteness is only the reality of individuality. From the self point of view, there is nothing called concreteness. Specificity is not the norm from the absolute standpoint. specificity. This is a specific camera, this is a specific stand, this is a specific table, this is a carpet, this is a pan, this is a woman. These are all specific knowledges, isn't it? That is not possible from absolute standpoint. From water standpoint, there is no specific wave existing apart from itself. It alone is, that's it. And this vision cannot come to us by looking at the wave or looking at the world. It gets revealed when we dissolve our mind in such deep contemplations as to who am I? What is infinity? Why do the scriptures say that I am eternal? Why am I thinking about myself even though I am without thinking also? What does it mean? Dive deep. If I realize what will happen to my children, what will happen to my husband, what will happen to my wife, then you are not qualified to contemplate on this. Get out. Go complain to someone else. You have to have the courage that in spite of everything, you are ready to dive into yourself. And you have the courage. You fool yourself by saying, no, me, poor me. Every night when you go to sleep, you are ready to give up every relationship in life. Every night. You don't think twice. What will happen to my children? What will happen to my husband? What will happen to my wife? What will happen to my bills? What will happen to my body? What will happen to my likes and dislikes? Nothing you care. You just allow yourself to be devoured by the sleep. So you have the courage to let go of everything that you know as real. You have the courage to let go of the duality or the relativity, to merge into that one homogeneous mass of bliss. Even though it is a temporary experience, but it is there, the sleep. So you have what it takes, but you are not applying it in the right area. See? Now the same surrender, the same dissolution of all the opposites of the relativity has to happen consciously. Apply yourself. Be that. And then alone the life becomes effortless. You are one with nature. Things start happening without working out. How they happen, that's not your concern, because this mind which is addicted to relativity, duality, can never understand that type of living. Cannot understand. You just flow through life then. Without whatever is happening, you just accept it. You don't reject it. You are always in the neutral gear. No friction. No friction. You are at the right place, at the right time, with the right experience, with the right people, with the right... Everything is right. This we are saying. The mind says sometimes, but you just flow through it. The life just flows through you. What I said before, instead of searching for happiness, let happiness express through you every moment. In every action, in every thought, in every seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, thinking. And that expression, when happiness expresses, it means life is being lived through you rather than you living life to search for happiness. This shift has to come about. And it will only come when we realize I am of the nature of happiness. I cannot seek happiness. It is the mind which is seeking happiness. But I am all that he is seeking. Who is seeking? Mind is seeking. I am that mind, essentially. See? I am of the nature of happiness. In fact, it will be more correct to say that he is not living, but the life is lived through him, because the individuality is totally gone. I am the substratum of all individualities. Friend or enemy is possible only when I am there. But in I, the consciousness, neither a friend nor an enemy is possible. All the multiplicity in the world is in me alone. Just like I gave you the example, all the multiplicity is in the body alone, the multiplicity of the limbs. All the forms are in the eyes alone, all the sounds are in the ear alone, all the tastes are in the tongue alone. See? All the rooms are in the house alone. Multiplicity is there, but it is one house. Similarly, all the thoughts are in the one mind. Similarly, or you can say in the consciousness. Similarly, all the minds are in the self alone. How? Just like all the minds in the dream of all the people are in the mind alone, isn't it? They are not coming, they are not outside your mind. They were in your mind only. This is the basic difference in the approach of Shankara Bhagavan and Jnaneshwar Maharaj to Vedanta. According to Shankara Vedanta, Maya is referred to as it is and it is not and it is both. It is independent on dependent on Brahman, and in the discovery of Brahma Jnanam, Maya is destroyed. So here Swamiji is making a specific point that according to Shankara Vedanta, that means according to Adi Shankara, Maya is destroyed once the person is realized. Here it is, according to Jnaneshwar Maharaj, Maya is not a kalpita shakti, imagined power of Brahman. So, according to Jnaneshwar Maharaj, who is coming from Kashmiri Shaivism, he is coming from the background of Natha Sampradaya. In Natha Sampradaya or Kashmiri Shaivism, Shiva Shakti are taken as a reality. Both the Prakriti and the Purush, the Maya and the Mayatita, both are considered to be real. The what you call, how should I say, the one and his manifestation or his potentiality, they are both real. And therefore the first chapter, what was it? Shiva Shakti Samavesh. How Shiva and Shakti, that Paramashiva is there, no doubt. That one without a second principle is there, no doubt. He is alone manifesting as the Shiva and Shakti. Just like that. There is no doubt of the self being there. But that self alone is expressing at the individual in the mind as the subject and the object, Shiva and Shakti, the Purusha and Prakriti, the Aham Vritti and the Idam Vritti, the I thought and the that thought. And this is what is Swamiji is making the point. In the first chapter of this book on Shiva Shakti Samavesh, the point has been made that the power and the powerful cannot be separated. This phenomena will continue. Phenomena will continue. If the power is an illusion, then the powerful is also an illusion. If Maya Shakti is Kalpana, Kalpana means an imagination, Matra, then Brahman is equally so, because the idea called Brahman, The word called Brahman is in your mind, is it? If you say mind is an illusion, mind is existing in its own absence, then every idea, every thought, every thought of reality will also become an imagination. Think about it. How do you know self at this moment? How do you know self? Only through thought, isn't it? At the moment. When you are thinking about it, how do you know self? Oh, because I am thinking about it, I am talking about it, isn't it? Without thinking, can the self be there? Yes, it can be there. No doubt about it. He is always. Self is always. But if I say the thought of the self is expressing in relativity, think about it. If the thought of the self is thinking, is expressing itself in relativity, and where is the relativity? In the mind. And mind is an illusion. Then thought of self is also an illusion. In one way it is true, because self is independent of the thought of the self, isn't it? So here, if the power is an illusion, then the powerful is also an illusion. If Maya Shakti is Kalpana Matra, then Brahman is also equally so. Therefore, it is the potentiality that is inherent in the Paramatma Tattva which alone manifests in the form of many. So there the Prakriti is not denied. In the Nath Sampradaya or the Kashmiri Shaivism, Prakriti, the manifestation is not denied. It is taken as whole soul expression of the potentiality of the reality. Reality cannot express without its potentiality in the manifestation. Sun is there. You cannot remove the day and night from the phenomena. You cannot remove the day and night from the phenomena. You cannot remove the mind and become realized. You have to become realized in spite of the mind. Isn't it? Your vision has to change. You can stop the influence of the mind by not being disturbed, by being equanimous, and you establish in yourself, but the phenomena will continue. The mind will continue to think thoughts. The eyes will continue to see. After realization, things don't change. Only what changes is who you are changes. How do you define yourself? Are you defining yourself as a product, as a specific person, or you have come to know that you are that one without a second? But the phenomena will continue. The potentiality and can we remove do we need to remove the waves in order to realize the water? Do we need to remove the waves to realize the water? So do we need to remove the thoughts to realize the self? See how beautiful it is. We don't need to do anything except while the phenomena is going on, just take a step back and realize that all this is you alone. All this is the self alone. By not being obsessed with this or that. This is the approach of Kashmiri Shaivism. Now, therefore, it is the potentiality that is inherent in the Paramatma Tattva, in the absolute reality, which alone manifests in the form of many. So does the sun become many? No. But in his presence, his potentiality alone is expressing as the day and night. Does the self become many? No. The potentiality of the self, called the mind, has the ability to express as many. And what is that many? the waking many, the dream many, and the absence of the waking and dream many in deep sleep. And this is where? Is it happening in the self? No, it is happening in the potentiality. And what is the potentiality of the self? The mind, isn't it? So in this shloka 5 of Mangala Charana, it was said that which is the beginning, the middle, and the end of the total creation, that which is manifesting in the form of creation, and that in which the creation is totally absorbed, that Purna Tattva, Shambhavi, that Shuddha Tattva, Shiva Tattva, individuality cannot remain separated from that. The Paramatma is Purna, that which is created out of it cannot be Apurna. Here the spelling is written wrong. So, in other words, water is absolute. That which appears out of the water cannot be not absolute. It can be considered finite, but essentially it is infinite. You understand what you are saying? So, on the waters we are watching what is coming out? A wave. Essentially the wave is infinite water, isn't it? This is what is being told. That out of this one reality, the potentiality expresses, that potentiality is the mind. That mind, because it has come out of the self, expressed out of the self, it is inherent in the self. It cannot be less than the self. It is also complete. So, if Paramatma is complete, Purna, that which is created out of it cannot be incomplete. It also has to be complete. Therefore, every class we conclude with what? Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. If reality is complete and if this reality, something is taken out, that which remains behind is also complete, and that which is taken out is also complete. Even if you keep thinking about this, you will fall back into yourself. After having given this vision of the Jivan Mukta Purusha, the way of such a Jivan Mukta's participation in the world is described. How does such a person participate? That is his disposition. Now, how does he move around in the world? Manauni Shabdadi Padartha Shotradi Ce Hata Dhyavaya Zetha Uju Hoti Tethe Swambandhu Hoya Na Hoya Tava Indriyan Se Te Nohe Mag Asteci Ahe Sambandhu Nam. In the 16th and 17th verse, therefore, the moment the sense objects come in contact with the respective sense organs, with a view to grasp them, and the moment this contact is established, neither the senses nor the object remain, and the relationless relationship is revealed. What does this mean? Therefore, for the Jivan Mukta Purusha, the realized master, when the sense objects are being caught by the sense organs, so seeing, hearing, the eyes, ears, nose, etc., are catching the stimuli, when the mind is catching the thoughts, when the sense objects are being caught by the sense organs, when the sense objects want to comprehend by the respective, want to be comprehended by the respective sense organs, the moment the contact between the sense object and the sense organs is established, Neither the sense organs nor the sense object remain separate from each other. Both get dissolved and disappear. Where? Where do they disappear? This is the this is how a realized master is living, huh? Accepting everything, rejecting nothing, and retaining nothing. This is what it is. The eyes accept every form, but the moment that form needs to be accepted, needs to be known by the eyes, a seer has to be born, isn't it? If the seer is born, then the seer and the seen will become dual. But here, the seer is not allowed to be born. Then what is taking place? The disposition of the master is I alone am. The moment, and that I alone am, that master, he is seeing that he is the eyes and he is the seen. When there are no two different things, both are I, then what will be the experience like? Imagine. Unbelievable. Can't even imagine. Where in that which is ever existing. Self is not an imagination, isn't it? That's why I said it cannot be imagined. Self is ever existing, in that which is never ever existing, which itself was manifesting as sense objects at one point and as sense organs at another. When the two come together, the non-dual existence is re-established. And if that is so, then what is the relationship between the two? It is a relationship less a relationship. Just as the electricity passing through the anode and cathode come together to emanate light, so also the sense objects and sense organs come together to produce a spark of consciousness, the oneness. And again they go back to the next experience. Ah, so beautiful, beautiful example. When we eat food, initially the food is separate to us. When it becomes one with us, the taster and the tasted become one. What happens at that moment? Your experience every day. What happens when the taster and the tasted become one? Joy. Isn't it? Mind stops. When you look at a beautiful rainbow, you are seeing, and you are the seer, that is the seen. Now, you are appreciating it because you see it as separate to yourself. In food, it has become one with you. You can't see it separate to yourself. So the joy that you experience of a rainbow and the joy that you have on account of the food becoming one with you, with the tongue, is different. See? Joy cannot be different. Joy is the same, but the experience is different. That is objective experience, this is subjective experience. Now imagine everything that you are seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, as you are going through, every moment, it's not that you are attempting it. It is your natural disposition that I am all that there is, and from that standpoint, like you never think about punishing your hand because it has poked your eye, or punishing your teeth who have bitten the tongue, because both you are, isn't it? Even this is a very limited example, because I'm still when I'm talking about it, the tongue and the teeth are separate. I'm giving them still a reality. But look at it from inside yourself. that both are me only, and therefore no hatred towards the teeth and no love towards the tongue, isn't it? No hatred towards the finger, no love towards the eyes. That finger which poked alone goes and then massages it. Why? That eye also I am, that finger also I am, that tongue I am, the teeth also I am. Exactly the same way, this type of oneness, that all that there is the self alone, ad infinitum. Everything in this creation is nothing but the self alone. And therefore, there cannot be a sense of otherness in the disposition of the great master. No sense of otherness. The Jivan Mukta Purusha is very clear that, first one, the one object of experience is different from the other objects of experience. Every experience is different from the next experience. That every experience is thus unique and cannot be repeated. That is why the effort to repeat the experience of meditation from one time to the next fails and creates frustration. So one must understand, see, what is living in the moment mean? Living in the now, the power of now. So many people talk about it. The power of now is recognizing and being that all that is at this moment is reality. Your mind is not in the past nor in the future. It's right here and now, in the present. Then your mind will be empty, with no projections, no imaginations, no memories, because no past, no projections, because no future. Then what will it do in the present moment? Whatever is taking place is taking place. It just is. So rather than, and when this moment is over, then the next moment will come. Again the same thing. It is not, but what do? Whole day today, we will keep thinking what we have to do tomorrow. So today is also wasted and tomorrow also is not there, and suppose in between you die. Then what will happen? Frustrated death. I didn't finish. You will have to take birth to do the same thing again. But we are not living fully every moment. All the time it is about what I should have done or what could be done. So get out of this. A Mahatma, a realized master, lives every moment 100%, without expectation and without guilt. This is what is called as accept everything at this moment, reject nothing at this very moment, and do not retain anything at this moment. Then you are with yourself. And thirdly, the experiencer of each experience is also equally unique and independent of each other. The I thought that appears with every that thought is also a different I. I know you. This sentence was made. This I in relation to you is, I said it. Then I say, I know the microwave. Now that I is gone. That you is gone. Now a new I is born in relationship to the microwave. Isn't it? But what do we think? What do we think? That it is the same I. And that is where we are created a ghost called the ego. This is the mistake we are making. Master doesn't make this mistake. He lives every moment. So we have created continuity where there is no continuity at a phenomenal level. Recognize this. Realization is nothing but a recognition, recognizing, discovering that your disposition was not the correct one. Change the disposition. Everything remains the same, only disposition has to change. Recognition has to take place. Just as an actor can act in many roles and there is no continuity, logic or relationship between one role and the other, so also with each experience a new waker is born. All these wakers are in me, but I am untouched by them. Just like every day a new dreamer is born, having a new dream experience, similarly, every day a new waker is born, having a new waking experience. But what are we doing? We are stretching the yesterday's waker into today, and we want to pull the today's waker into tomorrow, and we have imagined as a waker that from the time of birth till today I am the same. Yes, essentially you are the same, no doubt about it. But you think there is continuity in the world, there is continuity in the sequence of life. This is the mistake that we are making. Master doesn't make that mistake. Millions of waves are born, grow and die on the ocean. One wave has nothing to do with the other, nor does the ocean take birth and die with the wave. The wave is not independent of the ocean, but the ocean is not influenced by the presence or absence of the waves. The waves are in the ocean, but the ocean is not in the wave. How is this possible? Because it is a relationless relationship. Relationship is because the waves are related to the ocean from the essence point of view, and relationless is because it is not existing as relative one versus the other. See? And this is exactly how it is here. Exactly how it is here. But when we precipitate an individuality due to identification and then expectation, and what is the expectation? That all the jobs which were unfinished yesterday, I must finish them today. Continuity is created. Sir, be practical. If I don't do it, who will do it for me? This also is imagination. We think that way. It requires a great amount of courage to let go of every damn thing that you think about yourself as. Your jobs, your projects, your survival, your body, your thoughts, all the concepts, everything has to be dropped. And just be. It's not for the faint-hearted. As long as you keep thinking of yourself as an individual, the fear of death will be there. From Vedanta point of view, there is no birth, no death possible. Because you are that infinite. From the realized master point of view, no death is possible. From the sun point of view, no death of the day and night is possible. From the water point of view, no death of wave and of a birth or death of any wave is possible. But phenomena continues. But for this fearlessness to come in you or express out of you, you have to take the right position. If you consider yourself to be a wave, the individual, fear will be the norm. If you take the position of the water or the ocean, there is no place for fear because there is no other. You see, fear comes only when there is other. When there is expectation, if that expectation will happen or not, will it fulfill or not, then there is fear. If there is memories of the past, then there is fear. That, oh my God, I did so many wrong things, I think I'll go to hell. If you have thought that, you are already in hell. You don't have to go anywhere. But if you are thinking that I am that continuous principle, I am, in which everything is included. Without me, nothing in this creation is. Are we self-deluding ourselves? People may say that. When you speak this type of language, an unprepared mind who is insisting that the world is real, he will say, another deluded fool going. And that is why realized masters are called fools. They are Balavat, Unmattavat and Pishachavat. The realized masters, their disposition is like a child, always living in the present moment. Child is never thinking about past or future. Just where it is, cry, cry fully, laugh, laugh fully. Then Unmattavat, always in a drunken state of disposition. And that drunkenness is because of the joy that everything I am alone. Nothing is outside of me. That is intoxicating him, the bliss. And Pishachvat, he never stays in one place. Sometimes here, sometimes there, sometimes there. People experiencing in different ways. Pishachvat. How there is total oneness when the objects and senses meet is presented in the form of a question through examples and answered in the next two OVs. जिये पेरी दिसती उसी तिये लाधती की रसी कांति जेवी शशि पुनिवेचिया. Can one discover the different pieces of sugar cane in the juice? Not at all. As the 16 phases of the moon are not seen in the moonlight or on a full moon night. Now these are the two examples taken. When your attention, when you get the essence of the sugar cane, what is that? The sugar cane juice. In that the different pieces of sugar cane are not seen. Just like in the full moon, the 16 on the every 15th day the full moon comes, isn't it? So slowly it has grown to become full. But in the full moon, can you see the 15 the shapes of moon? No. But did you see them before? Yes. Did they appear? Yes. But in the full moon, are they there? No. Are the pieces of sugar cane in the juice? No. Exactly the same way, when a person drinks the juice of sugar cane, is it possible for him to distinguish from which internode, which particular sip of the juice came? It is not possible. The juice is one. Exactly the same way. Second example. In the full moon, can one find the different phases separate from each other? From the point of view of the moon, these phases, kalas, never existed. These 15, 16 phases, they did not exist. So also when we try to understand the world from the wrong angle, we see differences such as experiencer, experienced and experiencing, waking, dream, deep sleep plane of consciousnesses, etc., etc. But when we succeed in rising above these differences and reach that point in which all the differences merge, when it will be realized that in true spiritual progress, all the differences dissolve. How did we begin today's talk? One of the thoughts that just like you dissolve in the deep sleep, your mind dissolves, isn't it? But you are under the influence of ignorance there. Allow your mind to dissolve, but remain awake. This is what will happen then, what is being told. And reach that point in which all the differences merge. Then it will be realized that in true spiritual progress, all the differences dissolve. No matter what different paths are followed, when the goal, the mountaintop is reached, all differences cease. Such is the disposition of a great master. All the differences, all the different stimuli, all of them cease to be separate from each other from where he is being himself. See, from the water's point of view, all the differences of the waves stand neutralized. From the gold's point of view, all the ornaments differences are neutralized, isn't it? Similarly, from the point of view of the realized master, from his disposition, all the differences which are perceived only through the mind are neutralized. This is the position of a Jivan Mukta Purusha. Vignan Vidwan Bhavate Nativadi. Mundaka Upanishad. The spiritual seeker ceases to be insistent about anything in life. That is true surrender, true devotion, not what one wants, but what the beloved Lord considers right from his drishti, from his vision. So allowing happiness to express through you is equal to allowing the Lord to express through you. Let thy will be done, not mine. This is what it means. A realized we only talk about, we give only lip service, but we don't live like that. Whereas a realized master, every moment is in that disposition. Allowing that oneness, that purity, that immaculateness, that blessedness, that grace, that Lord, that Paramatma, that Brahman, that Shiva, whatever you may call him, allowing him to express without any obstruction. Without any obstruction. How do you create obstruction? How do you create obstruction? By becoming an individual, you create obstruction. Get out of the way, obstruction is free. See? And in this way, the thought continues. We will see it in our next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.